What a race as tempers flared under the Spanish sun. Now, I, myself at least, right, am personally pleased that I kind of predicted the race, right, in the sense that Piastri was able to bolt away as Verstappen and Norris at the start of the race did have their little squabble, their little fight, right? Um, Not saying that as a Ferrari fan, I obviously want to see a Ferrari win, right? But I did predict it right, so a little, I guess, kudos to me, right? Overall, I thought the race was fairly interesting. I thought there were a couple of good battles, in my opinion. It was the Bortoleto. Apologies if I mispronounced his name. Versus Lewis Hamilton. I think at the end was interesting. The fact that Sauber, oh no, it wasn't Bortoleto. It was Hulkenberg. The fact that Hulkenberg was able to get the Sauber in points and competing with a Ferrari, especially Lewis Hamilton. Fair enough, right? Complete shock to me. I'm glad that at least one Ferrari got on the podium, right? Obviously, McLaren won too. Quite dominant. That's all I'll say about McLaren so far, right? I mean, Oscar Piastri kind of not running away with the championship, but definitely asserting his dominance in the title charge, right? But I guess we do have to talk about the major incident, in my opinion, of the race, because I think the reason I said tempers flare was we saw Max Verstappen kind of lose his cool, right? First with his team, putting him on hard tires after the safety car, which would have just angered him even more, right? Especially after the poor, in my opinion, poor race decisions by Red Bull today. And then have almost losing it at the restart, and then banging with Charles Leclerc at the beginning of the restart, or at least into turn one. And then the moment with Russell, right? And then finally we come to the fact that he looks like he's going to let George Russell through, and then just doesn't turn into the corner, right? And in my opinion, look, I'm a fan of Verstappen in the sense that I like how aggressive he is on track. I like that he'll go for opportunistic moves. I think it's entertaining. I think it's good for the sport. But I think today Max has to look at himself. Has to take a little bit of accountability, because that, in my opinion, was atrocious, right? I mean, that's almost intent wrecking, in my opinion, because had they been at a higher speed, or had Russell turned in a little harder into the corner, who knows what could have happened? Both cars could have been out. Russell could have been out, and I don't know. That Verstappen today, he needs to have a cooler head, right? And I think the fact that the McLarens are kind of running away with the championship at the moment is kind of getting to him, in my opinion, right? But we'll have to wait and see how he comes back after this little break, because we are at the end of the triple header of weekends, right? So let me know if you guys enjoyed the race as much as I did, and I shall see you guys for the next F1 race, which I think is in 2 weeks, something like that. See you.